Hi yogis, my name is Bex and welcome to my channel Yoga with Bex. I'm so excited to have you join me today for my first ever yoga YouTube video. Today's practice is a yoga practice for all, but in particular it might benefit those who perhaps have an issue with their calf, perhaps an injury in the area or a strain, or maybe some tenderness and tightness. So we'll be focusing on our core and waking up the spine and nourishing the nervous system so that the body can do what it does best and heal. So we're going to be starting our practice today on our backs. So let's lower down to the mat, nice and slowly with control. And we can extend the legs out nice and long, just allowing the body to settle down. Feeling the weight of the body melting into the mat. And it's a nice opportunity to close the eyes. Bring the arms by your sides and allow the feet just to fall out to the sides. Gently nod the head from side to side, making sure you're not holding any tension in the neck or the jaw. And soften around the eyes. We'll just take a moment to connect to our breath. Inhaling deeply in through the nose, all the way down to the bottom of the lungs, filling up the belly. And exhaling fully, drawing the belly button down towards the spine as you empty the lungs, breathing out through the nose or the mouth. Inhaling, sending the breath all the way down to the lungs. And exhaling fully, giving the body a signal that it's time to relax. Taking a final breath, and you can keep the eyes closed, or you might like to flutter the eyes open. We can take a little bend through the knees and set the feet gently on the mat. Pick both feet up and hug the legs in towards the body, taking a hold around the shins. Really hugging the legs in towards the body and rocking from side to side, gently massaging the lower back. Making sure you're not holding any tension in the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to press down towards the mat. And we'll keep the left knee hugging in and send the right toes nice and long so that the right heel is hovering about an inch or so off the mat. And we're going to take some little movements with the right foot. So scrunching the toes, noticing how that feels, particularly if you do have a calf issue, you might be able to feel this. If you'd like to take it a little further, start to point through the toes and flex the foot just nice and gently. If you feel any pain here, just ensuring that you do what your body is able to do without pain. Taking little micro movements, and maybe you can circle the ankle one way and the other way. We're going to release the left leg and place the left foot on the mat and see if we can extend the right foot up towards the sky, taking a hold somewhere behind the leg. I'm going to take hold behind my right thigh, and if you have any calf pain, this is probably a good place to hold on to, or you might like to hold on to somewhere further up the leg if you're not experiencing any pain. And just gently encourage the leg towards the body. And we're going to do the same with the toes here. So scrunching up the toes and releasing. Scrunching and releasing. And we can start to point and flex through the foot, just noticing how this feels with the leg extended towards the sky. It's being very mindful of your own body. Good. Maybe taking some circles, really loosening through the connective tissues, the ankle and the backs of the legs. Good. We're going to release the hold around the back of the leg and see if we can place the arms down beside us as we extend through the left leg. We're going to keep the left heel hovered off the mat and actively separate through the legs. The right leg does not need to be perfectly straight here, and have a little bend in the knees. And this might be enough for you today. If you'd like to take it further, we can start to lift the head, lift the shoulders off the mat, and lift the arms up, engaging through the core here, actively separating the legs. And if you'd like to take it even further, you can start to lift the arms up and overhead, biceps by the ears. And we're going to hold it here, remembering to breathe, sending the breath all the way to the base of the lungs. And exhaling, releasing fully. And we'll take some full deep breaths here. Really engaging through the core. Inhale and exhale. Last breath, inhaling and exhaling. We can start to lower the shoulders and the head down to the mat with the arms. And take a bend through the left foot, placing the left foot on the mat. And then we're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. Actively press the right knee away from your body. We'll come into our reclined pigeon, so lifting up the left foot, threading the right arm through the gap between the legs, taking a hold behind the thigh or around the shin to draw the legs in towards the body. If you can, flexing through the feet for active engagement. So we really want to be pressing the right knee away from the body as we draw the left leg in towards us to deepen that lovely juicy stretch through the right hip flexor. Inhale and exhale to soften through the shoulders, tucking the chin. Inhale and exhale to release the hold of the leg. We're just going to gently place the left foot back on the mat, keeping the formation of the legs as we are, taking the arms out to the sides. If you have space, reaching the arms all the way out, or you can take a nice little bend in the elbow for cactus arms. Taking a nice deep breath in, and on an exhale, allowing the legs just to fall down to the left-hand side of the mat. Taking a nice spinal twist here, and we can look over the right shoulder. Inhale and exhale. And on your next breath in, gently lifting up the feet, uncrossing the legs and drawing the knees in towards the body, hugging the knees in, pressing the shoulders down towards the mat. You can massage the lower back once more before we prepare for the other side. So this time we're going to hug the right knee in towards the body and extend the left leg nice and long so that the left heel is hovering just an inch or so off the mat. We're going to scrunch the toes and release. Scrunch and release. And you can keep doing this, or if you'd like to take it further, pointing through the toes, flexing through the foot, getting the blood flow to the area, just being mindful if you do have any soreness on this leg. Maybe taking some little circles one way and the other way. Good. And we're going to plant the right foot on the mat and lift the extended left leg up towards the sky, taking a hold around the back of the leg, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we'll do the same with the feet. So starting by scrunching through the toes, noticing how that feels. And maybe pointing and flexing. Taking some little circles with the feet, with the left foot one way and the other way. Waking up all of those connective tissues that do so much for us. as we get on with our day-to-day lives. We're going to let go of the back of the leg, bring our arms down by our sides and extend the right leg nice and long so that it's hovering an inch or so off the mat. Actively use the strength of the hips and the legs just to separate the legs as much as you can, and remember the legs don't need to be perfectly straight here. And we're going to engage through the core, lift the head, lift the shoulders and the arms, holding it here, really strong and strengthen through our core. And then inhale, the arms come up and overhead, biceps by the ears, just to intensify. Holding it here for a few breaths. And it's perfectly normal for the body to start shaking a little as we strengthen through the body. And we're really reaching with the arms here, so we're very engaged through the entire body during this pose. Taking some full breaths. Inhale and exhale. Last one, you've got this. Inhale and exhale, just to release the head, the shoulders and the arms down to the mat. We're going to take a nice bend through the right knee this time. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Press the left knee away from the body. You can use the hand here. And then pick up the right foot. Thread the left hand through the gap between the legs and take a hold, finding our reclined pigeon on the other side. So once you've got a hold of the leg, making sure you're not holding any tension in the upper body. So really releasing through the shoulders, tucking the chin. And if you can, flexing through the feet, just gently, mindfully. Actively press the left knee away from the body as you draw the right leg in to deepen that lovely stretch through the hip flexors. It's one of my favorite poses. Inhale and exhale. Taking one breath in and exhale to gently release. And we're going to keep the formation of the legs as we set the right foot down. Inhale to extend the arms out to the sides or take cactus arms, depending on your space. And exhale to allow the legs to lower, this time to the right. And looking over your left shoulder. Just enjoying the spinal twist for the body. Inhale and exhale the legs back to the center. We can uncross the legs. Just hug the body, hug the legs in for a moment. We're going to take the hands to our temples and extend the right leg nice and long, keeping the bend in the left knee. And then we're going to pick up the head and shoulders and bring our right elbow to our left knee. And then we're going to alternate. So twisting the body, the upper body to the other side, bringing the right knee in towards the body and bringing our left elbow to our right knee. And alternating, picking up the speed, engaging through the core, taking these cycling motions with the legs. This is a great core strengthener. You can spend a few moments every day doing this to build your core strength. And we're going to work with the breath to dig a little deeper and find a little bit more strength. Taking a few more rounds here. We're not rushing, and we're feeling into the strength that we are building in our core. Last couple of movements here, and then we're going to release all the way down, but keep a nice bend in the knees. Hug in to release through your abdominals, and then we can extend the legs nice and long. Lift up one hip and pop your hand underneath the squishy part of your seat, and then do the same on the other side. So both hands are palms facing down underneath our seat, and we're hugging our elbows in towards the body. The arms should be lengthened here, and we are going to start to bend through the knees, and then we can extend the legs up nice and long, point through the toes, and exhale to lower all the way down with control to a hover. And then we'll bring the knees back in and lengthen through the legs. Finding some circular motions here. So this is another core exercise. Also really good for lubricating the knee joints. Bringing the knees into the body, lengthening the legs and lowering down. The next time the knees are in, we're going to reverse the direction. So extending the legs nice and long, flexing the feet and lifting all the way up to the sky, bend through the knees and send the feet nice and long. Inhale, exhale. Always working with the breath, using our breath as our anchor. Good. Last round, sending the feet up, bending the knees, and we'll let the feet go nice and long. We're going to keep the hands underneath our seat, so you might just like to shift around just to find a little more comfort here. Make sure your elbows are hugging into the body. We're going to point through the toes, press down into the hands and the forearms as we lift the head and lift the shoulders off the mat. So that we're looking, our gaze is over our toes. We've lifted the upper body off the mat, preparing for our fish pose. This might be enough for you today, so you can stay here, or you might start to open up through the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Start to look up to the sky, opening up through the chest. And if you'd like to take it a little further, just being really mindful of your neck, looking to the back of the mat, stretching out through the front of the neck. Maybe bringing the crown of your head down to the mat, making sure your chest is open and lifted. Your shoulder blades are squeezing together. You're supported by your arms. Inhale. Exhale. And on your next breath in, gently starting to lift the head, lift the body, looking over the toes, and from here, seeing if we can lift it all the way up to a seated position with our legs extended. And we're going to find strength in our Tadasana pose, staff pose. So really lifting and lengthening through the spine here, and see if we can rotate our thighs in towards one another. So really strong and engaged through our entire bodies once more. So we can flex through the heels, through the feet, and lift the heels about an inch or so off the mat. So really engaging through the legs here. And if you do have a calf issue, this might feel quite intense. So you can hold it here or lessen the intensity just by letting the heels come back down to the mat. Inhale, the arms can come up, biceps by the ears, holding here. And you can take an opportunity to fold down over the toes if that is in your practice, or if you do have tight calf muscles, it's quite nice to stay here, just engaging through the body. We'll take a nice breath in and exhale. Inhale and exhale. The arms can come all the way down, and we're going to take a nice comfortable seat, crossing at the ankles. So that should be fine for your calf muscles here. We'll place our hands on our knees, find length through the spine, and start to take little circle motions, starting from the sacrum area, from the hips in one direction, maybe making those circles a little bit bigger. And as your body is sent backwards, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin. As you come forwards, opening up through the chest, extending through the spine. So we're going to round on the way back and open up on the way forwards. Really waking up the spine and then reversing the direction. So once again, rounding as your body weight comes backwards and opening the chest on the way forwards. finding spinal flexion and extension. And back to the center, finding length. And we'll bring our right hand to the mat and bring a bend in the elbow, extend the left arm up and overhead. Really reaching, making sure you're actively pressing down on the left knee, which has a tendency to raise. Inhale and exhale to come all the way over to the other side, lifting the right arm up and over. See if you can send the gaze up towards the sky so you actively press down the right knee. Inhale and exhale back to center. We'll bring our hands in prayer to our heart center and inhale to lift the arms up and overhead. We'll start to twist the body towards the right. Open up the arms, place the left hand on the right knee and the right hand just behind you. Inhale to lengthen through your spine and exhale to come into your full expression of a seated twist. Inhale and exhale to deepen. Taking another breath in and exhale to pick up the hands and sweep the arms all the way to the middle, placing the hands just in front of you and walking the hands forwards as you fold over the legs. Letting the head hang nice and heavy. We'll inhale to look up and walk the hands back into the body. And we'll inhale the right arm up. Take a bend through the elbow and see if you can place the flat of the hand in between the shoulder blades. With the left hand, we're going to sweep this all the way towards the back. And we can either take a hold of our clothing at the back, or maybe you can interlock the fingers coming into a bind. Once you have a hold, making sure you're actively pressing down the knees. Inhale to open up through the chest and soften through the shoulders. Finding space, finding ease. And really noticing how the body feels. Stretching out the shoulders. Inhale and exhale to release. We're going to sweep the left arm underneath the right, coming into our eagle arms. So crossing at the elbows, then bending the elbows so that the backs of the arms are kind of against one another, or you might be able to find one further bind. Bringing the palms of the hands together. Finding eagle arms. We're going to lift the elbows so that they're in line with the shoulders. Make sure the shoulders are down and away from the ears. And we're going to exhale and fold once more over the legs. Just stretching and separating the shoulder blades. Inhale to come back up. Wherever you are, uncrossing the arms. Good. We're going to cross the ankles the other way. And repeat the sequence. So bringing our right hand to the mat and taking a bend. We're going to come into a lovely side stretch here. So lifting the right arm up and overhead. Really reaching bicep to the ears. Inhale and exhale, coming over to the other side, lifting the left arm up and overhead. Inhale and exhale back to center, and we'll bring our hands to our heart center in prayer. And on your next breath in, lifting the arms up and overhead, biceps by the ears, really reaching. And this time we're going to twist over to the left. Open up the arms, bring the right hand to the left knee. Place the left hand just behind you, coming into our spinal twist. So we're going to look over our left shoulder. Inhale to lengthen through the spine and exhale to deepen your twist. Inhale and exhale. Taking a nice deep breath in and exhale to pick up the hands and sweep the hands to the front. walking the hands forwards as we fold all the way down. Pressing down into your sits bones. Inhale to walk the hands in. This time we're going to lift the left arm up and place the palm of the hand in between the shoulder blades, pointing the left elbow up to the sky, finding space, and we'll sweep the right hand just behind us, taking hold of the cloth of your clothing, or maybe you can come into the binds, and it's very normal for it to feel completely different on this side. So wherever you are, finding stillness, becoming aware of how your body feels in this shape. Inhale to see if you can find some more space, and exhale to find softness. Soften into the shoulders, open up through the chest. Inhale and exhale to release. And then we're going to bring our right arm underneath our left, maybe bringing the backs of the arms against one another, or perhaps you can find a further bind, bringing the palms of the hands together, lifting up through the elbows so they're in line with our shoulders, softening through the shoulders, and exhale to fold it all the way down. Really separating through the shoulders here. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling to come all the way up. Gently release the arms. And we'll find our way to our tabletop position on the mat. So really spreading through the fingers here, lengthening through the arms and ensuring that your shoulders are directly over the wrists and your hips are directly over the knees. You're pressing down through the backs of the feet. The toes are not tucked here. And we're going to do some wrist strengthening exercises. So really spreading the weight through the hands evenly, pressing the knuckles down into the mat. And then we're going to send our body weight forwards over the hands till we feel a nice stretch traveling up the backs of the arms. And then back. We'll do that a couple more times. And back. And then we're going to turn the hands away from each other so the fingers are pointing to the long edges of the mat. Once you've found your stability here, we're then going to allow the body to come over to the right, back to center, and then over to the left, back to center. For a little challenge, if you'd like to take it further, we're going to take a further 90-degree turn with the hands. Just do what you can, pointing the fingers to the knees. And this time, we're going to send the body weight backwards. So sending the hips towards the heels, but you only need to move a very small amount before you feel that stretch traveling up the backs of the arms. Just little micro movements here. Good. Okay, and then we're going to lift up the right hand and flip it over so that we're pressing down into the top of the hand, keeping the left hand where it is if you can, and then gently rocking backwards, sending the hips to the heels and forwards. Really working to lengthen and stretch those connective tissues in the wrists. And then we'll flip the right hand over so that it's back to pointing forwards, and do the same with the left hand, flipping it over so that we're resting on the top of the hand, and then rocking backwards and forwards just to find that lovely stretch. And it should feel really nice. And then we'll flip the left hand back over, finding our tabletop. We'll just gently set our hips back on our heels, taking some circles through the wrists, one way and the other way. And then find our tabletop position once again. So making sure you have a strong foundation, really lengthening through the arms, shining the elbow creases forwards, pressing down into the tops of the feet. And then on an in-breath, we'll send the belly button down towards the mat, lift the tailbone, and lift the gaze, finding our cow pose. Exhale, we'll start to round through the spine, tucking the chin under and tucking the tailbone underneath. Inhale, finding our cow pose. Exhale to round, cat pose. Taking a few more just like this, seeing if you can find a wave-like motion between the poses, waking up the spine, connecting to the entirety of your nervous system. Okay, and when you're ready, finding a neutral spine, we're going to pick up the right toes and send the right heel towards the back of the mat, pointing the toes down towards the mat if you can. And we're going to point and flex the foot, just gently being mindful of our calves here, strengthening the backs of the legs. And then we're going to place the toes, the right toes down on the mat, tucking them under slightly if that's okay for you. Just being really mindful here. We're going to move very slowly and gently and just transfer some of our body weight back so that we can stretch out the back of the leg. Just going as far as you can. This may feel quite intense, but you shouldn't feel any pain. We're just bringing blood flow and circulation to the area, and release, sending the body weight back. And release. We'll pick up the toes and keep a nice bend in the knee, so we send the foot back, lifting up the gaze. And then we'll see if we can come to lift the left hand, finding balance using our core strength here. You might want to leave it here, or you might be able to sweep the left hand back to take hold of the foot, and maybe even pressing the foot into the hand. Inhale. Exhale to release, bringing the left hand down, and we'll squeeze the right knee underneath, nose to knee. Setting the heels back down, setting the knee back down. We'll lift the other knee up and extend, pointing the toes down towards the mat. And then we'll point and flex the foot as your body allows. Just noticing how it feels here. And then we'll set the toes down on the mat, tucking the toes underneath and just gently pressing your body weight back and forwards, working with your own body, being super gentle, not overextending or putting any additional pressure than is needed. Good. We'll pick up the toes, take a bend through the left knee and send the gaze up. Maybe finding a strong foundation and lifting the right arm. Option to sweep the right arm back, taking a hold of the foot, pressing the foot into the hand. Inhale and exhale to gently release. And we'll send the right knee underneath, rounding through the spine, knee to nose. And exhale to place the knees on the mat. Sending the legs nice and wide, bringing the knees nice and wide, big toes together, setting the hips back on the heels, finding our extended child's pose, melting the hips to the heels, the forehead to the mat, and taking some cleansing breaths here. Any little micro movements in the body. Good. Then we'll inhale to look up, finding our tabletop position once more. And we're going to lift the feet off the mat and cross at the ankles, walk the hands forwards, and see if we can bring our body weight forwards using our upper body strength, our arm strength to lower the body all the way down to the mat. Inhale to lift, uncross the ankles, set the feet down, bring the hips to the heels and reach. Inhale to cross the ankles, exhale to lower. Inhale to press up, uncross the ankles, exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, cross at the ankles, lower. Inhale to press back up and exhale. Good. Last one. Working with the breath. Elbows hugging in on the way down. Good. Coming up to a neutral tabletop position. We're going to walk the hands even further forwards. Keep the hips exactly where they are. So hips are over the knees, tops of the feet pressing in, and we're finding our puppy pose, melting the heart down to the mat, reaching through the arms. Coming to rest on the forehead or the chin. Really lovely stretch for our shoulders and our arms. Little back bend. Breathing here. Inhale, and on an exhale, we'll press down into the forearms and send our body weight all the way forwards, lowering the hips to the mat, finding our Sphinx pose. Another lovely back bend. Forearms are parallel, palms are spread. We'll open up through the chest, looking forwards. Good. We're going to swivel our left arm so that the fingers are pointing to the right long edge of the mat, and then roll over onto our hip. We're going to take the right leg just behind the left and find comfort and ease here. You can bring the right hand just to rest somewhere on the mat for extra support and stability. And then on an in-breath, we're going to lift up the right toes and exhale to draw a nice little arc and place the big toe down on the mat. Inhale to reverse the rainbow. Exhale to lift. Inhale, see if you can lift a little more. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Placing the foot just where it was and rolling back onto your hips. Finding Sphinx pose, opening up, and then we'll come onto the other side, placing the left foot just behind the right, finding stability, finding lift, finding space, and then inhale to lift up the left toes, drawing a nice little rainbow, and reversing, tapping the toes on the mat. Finding your own rhythm. Seeing if you can find a little more lift. Good. Inhale and exhale to roll it back. Coming all the way down, making a little pillow with your hands, finding your Makrasana, crocodile pose, lifting up the feet, taking a bend at the knee, and finding a windscreen wiper-like motion with the feet just to release through the lower back. Good. And we'll let the legs fall back down, nice and long. Extend the arms out in front of you so that the palms are facing one another, resting on your chin. And then we'll see if we can lift the legs up behind us, and you can point through the toes. Option to stay here, or maybe start to lift through the head and the arms, and we're going to hold it here. Option to hold, or we can start to swim the arms back and forwards. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. We're going to do 2 more. You got this. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Holding and releasing it all the way back down to Makrasana. Taking a couple of cleansing breaths here. And then we'll just shift our hands so that they're underneath our shoulders. Squeeze the elbows in. Inhale to start to lift the chin and the chest, finding a baby cobra. Gentle engagement of the glutes here to protect the lower back. And exhale all the way down, resting your chin on the mat as we prepare for our full Bhujangasana cobra pose. Squeezing the elbows in, we're going to lift the chin, lift the chest, press into the hands, and lift our upper body off the mat. Pubic bone is still in contact with the mat. Nice generous bend in the elbows. Inhale. Exhale to press up all the way onto the hands and knees. We'll find our child's pose. Bringing the knees nice and wide, setting the hips back on the heels.
Noticing how your body feels after your practice today. We've worked really hard on the core. We've woken up the spine to connect to the nervous system so that the body can do what it knows to do in order to heal. Feeling the nourishment of your practice flowing through your body and connecting once more to your breath as we prepare for a few moments of relaxation before we close our practice today. Bringing awareness to the body, nourishing the body with the breath. Just taking a moment to wiggle the fingers, wiggle your toes, bring your awareness back to your body. You can open the eyes or keep them closed as you start to lift the head.
Lift the body up and make your way to a comfortable seat on the mat. Drawing length through your spine, rolling the shoulders down and away from the ears. Finding space, finding ease. We can bring our hands to our heart center and bow the head to the hands. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice today. I really hope that you have got benefit out of it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'd be really grateful if you could like and subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps, and it's my mission to build a wonderful online yoga community.